UFC 314 is next weekend, boys. I'm going to be giving you guys my quick picks, my quick predictions. Before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into this great card. Opening up the early prelim is Nora Cornoli versus Haley Cohen. This is one of two WMMA fights. Not a bad fight, honestly. Don't understand why Haley Cohen is getting a ranked opponent. I don't know why the UFC absolutely butchers the rankings when it comes to WMMA. I mean, Haley Cohen just is coming off of a loss and is now fighting Nora Cornoli. Nora is also coming off of a loss, but it was a close loss to Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti's been on a streak. She's very good. We've seen that. She's a solid prospect, and it was a close fight. It was very competitive. Could have gone the side of Nora Cornoli. Cavalcanti did outstrike her a bit, was pushing the pace a bit more, but they were in France. I thought they could have maybe leaned the side of Nora, but she didn't get those. She didn't get the nudge, but she's a very good fighter. She is solid. She's got power. She's got decent finishing ability. We've seen her get a knockout in the UFC so far. Haley Cohen really hasn't showed much. I mean, the record shows for itself. She's 7-3. She's kind of iffy when it comes to grappling. She can't grapple very heavy, but I think Nora Cornoli is just going to outstrike her, outpoint her in this fight. I'm going to go Nora Cornoli by unanimous decision to start off the night. Pretty easy one. I mean, this fight should be kind of close, but I think Nora Cornoli will do the more damage. We're going to move on, though. Trishan Gore versus Marco Tulio. I'm actually excited for this fight. I really like Marco Tulio as a prospect. Trishan Gore is solid. Don't get me wrong. He is pretty good. He is coming off back-to-back guillotine chokes. Just choked out Bruno Silva. Standing guillotine too is pretty nasty. Trishan Gore definitely has a nice guillotine in his bag, but I don't think he's going to be catching Marco Tulio. Look at how big Marco Tulio is. This dude is massive. They're standing at the same height. Marco Tulio could easily be a light heavyweight. He's very, very big for this division. He's got power in his hands. He trains with Shoot the Box. He trains with Diego Lima. We know how Shoot the Box comes. He comes and brings a fight, man. He just knocked out Ihor Potieria. Nasty knockout. Marco Tulio is dangerous. He's got lots of power. Trishan Gore, we've seen him crumble before, and I think Marco Tulio is going to be the more physically imposing, the more damaging striker in this one. I don't think this is going to go to the ground. I don't see Trishan Gore locking up a sub. I think that could be his only path of victory because we've yet to really see Marco Tulio's BJJ and his wrestling, but I don't think it's going to get to that. I don't think Trishan Gore is even going to be able to take him down. So I'm going to go Marco Tulio by round 1 or round 2 TKO. I think he gets it done fairly easily. Just comes at him, wings a bunch of shots, pieces up a nice combination, and Trishan Gore crumbles and he lands some nice ground and pound to finish him off. I'm going to go Marco Tulio round 1 or round 2 TKO relatively easily. I like Marco Tulio as a prospect. We move on, though. Suma Dorji versus Mitch Raposo. Solid flyweight fight. We haven't seen Suma Dorji in a minute. You know, he's been on a bit of a losing streak, a little bit of a skid recently. Mitch Raposo, since getting to the UFC, has lost both of his fights, but they were pretty close fights and they were against solid opponents. He just lost against Andre Lima, and we've seen Lima is solid in flyweight. He's a solid prospect. So Mitch Raposo did go to a split. It was a close fight. You know, it was back and forth, tit for tat, and Mitch Raposo is pretty solid on the feet. He did also show that he can defend himself on the ground. I don't see Suma Dorji taking it to the ground. He has lost by submission back-to-back, about a year ago. Suma Dorji is not good on the ground. He's not good on the ground. He's going to want to strike. I think this will be a striking matchup. And look at the reach of Suma Dorji compared to Mitch Raposo. Mitch Raposo is going to have to try to see if he can break through the void, get close in on Suma Dorji. He's going to be the shorter guy, the shorter reach. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I am going to go Mitch Raposo as an early pick. I think this is going to be a really close fight. I think this is going to be a really close split decision. I'm going to lean Mitch Raposo gets it done. He's going to land the more damaging shots. Suma Dorji doesn't have the best body. I don't know how to say it. The body positivity, not body positivity. When you see him take a punch, he doesn't take it very well. He doesn't take his punches very well. He crumbles a little bit, and I think we're gonna see that happen in this fight. I think Mitch Raposo is gonna dig to the body, go upstairs as well, just piece up the boxing combinations better. His boxing is very solid, and I think he gets it done by split decision. We're gonna go Mitch Raposo by split decision, gets his first win in the UFC. I think Suma Dorji is on his way out, man. We move on, though, to the next fight of the night. Cedric Dumas faces off against Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Solid middleweight matchup. I mean, both these guys have had iffy careers, to say the least. Cedric Dumas has been up and down, hasn't beat very good competition, but he does beat the bums. He gets by. He doesn't have great finishing potential. Doesn't really have very good knockout power at middleweight. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, on the other hand, throws hands. He does have knockout power, and he does come for your head. Mikhail Oleksiejczyk is coming off of a few losses, though. Lost to Shara Bullet. It was a close fight. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty close. Shara did pull away in the later rounds, was landing the better shots. Mikhail also got subbed by Kevin Holland, and he got subbed the time before that as well. So he is on a 3-fight skid. He needs this fight desperately, and I think he's going to get it, honestly. Cedric Dumas has showed holes in his game, especially on the feet. He tends to get hit a lot on the feet, and his wrestling is not good, but I don't think this is going to be a wrestling fight. I'm going to go Mikhail Oleksiejczyk to get this one done, man. I think he could find a finish on Cedric Dumas. Mikhail actually has solid power. Rocked Shara Bullet, rocked Kevin Holland. He just doesn't have the best IQ, which worries me a little bit because he gets himself in bad positions like he did against Kevin Holland. He got himself into that armbar when he dropped Kevin Holland badly, right? He dropped Kevin Holland and then got himself in that armbar and got subbed. Or I think he got his arm broken, honestly. And he got himself in a bad position against Shara, up against the fence, was getting pieced up a bit. So the IQ worries me, but I do think he's the better fighter, and I think he's the better striker in this matchup. So I'm going to go Mikhail Oleksiejczyk. I think he could find a finish over Cedric Dumas, whose chin isn't the best, to be honest. So I'm going to go Mikhail Oleksiejczyk by round 2 or round 3 TKO. We move on, though, to the main card. Oh, no, is this the main card? No, this is the not the early prelims. This is the main prelims. Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. I forgot this is a pay-per-view. It's been a minute since we've had a pay-per-view. We got Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. Honestly, Unk versus Unk battle. Both these guys are still kicking, man. They're both still kicking. I didn't realize Julian Erosa was already 36. Darren Elkins, 41, of course. At featherweight is kind of crazy, right? But he's the damage. And he wears the damage on his chest and in his brain, man. So we know Darren Elkins has a crazy amount of CTE, but he rocks it. He rocks it, and he comes forward. He still fights. He's coming off back-to-back wins. Just beat Daniel Pineda in an absolute dogfight. Absolute bloody fight. He's throwing hands. That was a fight of the night. That was such a good fight. And he's fighting Julian Erosa, who's coming off back-to-back submission wins. Just submitted Christian Rodriguez, which aged pretty well. Christian Rodriguez, prospect killer, but got beat by Julian Erosa, you know, the guy who's aging and getting out of his career. So kind of crazy work. But Darren Elkins, I think he's got a solid chance to win this fight. Honestly, I think this is much closer than the odds suggest. I'm pretty sure Julian Erosa is a 5-1 favorite. I don't like those odds on Julian Erosa. I think Darren Elkins always brings a scrap. He can defend himself on the ground. Julian Erosa's best chance to win this fight is going to be taking him down because Darren Elkins can eat some shots. He's been knocked out before, but he eats shots, right? This is going to be a battle. I think this is going to be back and forth, tit for tat. Darren Elkins is going to be throwing. He's going to be digging deep, trying to get this win. And Julian Erosa is going to have to really, really try to get this one to the ground, try to look for a submission, or try to just hold Darren Elkins back, get, a good position on him. I think Darren Elkins can score the points, though. I'm going to lean Darren Elkins, honestly. 41 years old. The damage. All right. It's not a betting scenario. Honestly, I bet Darren Elkins. Pick-wise, it's really close. I'm going to lean Darren Elkins, though. I think Darren Elkins is going to get this one done by a close decision. I think it's going to be back and forth. We're going to be surprised by the amount of landing that Darren Elkins has with his right hand, his left hand. He's going to be throwing shots up top, throwing shots down below. Julian Erosa is much bigger, has a longer reach, but I think Darren Elkins is just going to dig deeper, man. This guy always digs deep. So I'm going to go Darren Elkins by close decision. A bit of an upset on the night, man. We're going to move on. Next fight, though, Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper. Jim Miller, absolute unk as well. Chase Hooper's coming to take all the unks' heads. I'm going Chase Hooper. I'm sorry, Jim Miller. Jim Miller had a good win against Damon Jackson not that long ago, man. He showed he's still kicking, but Chase Hooper kills every single unk. He just killed what's his name, Clay Guida, man, by submission. I think he gets it done against Jim Miller. He's on a solid streak right now. He's getting through all these guys. They're giving him some easier matchups, but Jim Miller's still tough. He's very, very tough. If Chase Hooper can finish him, especially finish him early, he's a solid prospect. Chase Hooper is Charles Oliveira 2.0, and I'm hyped, man. I can't wait for him to dye his hair blonde, man. I can't wait for him to bleach his hair. But Chase Hooper gets this one done. I think finds a finish. Jim Miller is still good. He's still kicking. Don't get it twisted. But he is 41 years old. Chase Hooper's bigger. He's faster. He's got a lot more finishing potential, and he can wrap up a choke fairly easily. Jim Miller has been submitted by Charles Oliveira, so I think he will get submitted by Chase Hooper in round 1 fairly easily, man. I think Chase Hooper is going to just get through these unks easily. So Chase Hooper by round 1 submission. We move on. Yan Xiaonan, Verna Jandiroba. Solid fight, honestly. Not a bad fight. I'm glad they didn't put this on the main card. Yan Xiaonan's coming off that really, really good win against Tabitha Ritchie. Pieced her up. Absolute domination. I love that fight. Really, really good. Yan Xiaonan's boxing is so crisp. Her striking is so, so good. Tabitha Ritchie didn't have anything going in that fight. Anything. I mean, that was an absolute shutdown by Yan Xiaonan in Macau. And I think she's going to beat Verna Jandiroba, who is a girl. I was about to say guy. As a girl who needs to get it to the ground, right? We've seen this. She just beat what's her name? Oh my goodness. Lemos. She just beat Lemos, and it was a solid submission win. Don't get it twisted. But Verna Jandiroba's, even though she's been on a bit of a streak, she struggles on the feet. She gets pieced up on the feet. And Yan Xiaonan striking is no joke. We're talking about number one contender here. Yan Xiaonan, her striking was really good against Zhang Weili. Obviously, she did get just outpointed and got taken down, which I think Verna Jandiroba is going to have to take her down here and hold her on the ground and look for submissions the whole fight. She's going to have to hold Yan Xiaonan down for 15 minutes. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go Yan Xiaonan by decision. I think she's going to land the better shots. She's going to be pushing forward. Even if she gets taken down, I'm going to trust the judges score this by damage. I think Yan Xiaonan is going to deal the more damage. I don't see Verna Jandiroba outstriking Yan Xiaonan. If Yan Xiaonan can keep the center of the octagon, piece her up with her jab, close the distance with some hooks, I think she will win this fight. So I'm going to go Yan Xiaonan by decision. We move on to the final fight of the prelims. Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. This is a good matchup. Very odd matchup. Dan Ige, we know he's got power, but he's small for the division, right? I mean, he's not really small, but Sean Woodson's just really big. I mean, I'm really excited to see this face-off. Sean Woodson, 6'2" at featherweight, tallest featherweight in the division. I believe he is the tallest or the second tallest. I think he just beat Fernando Padilla by a solid KO in round one. Really, really nice work by Sean Woodson. He deserves a ranked opponent. And I think that was a 6'3" guy as well. So this is a complete switch up in height. Dan Ige is no joke, though. We know he fought Diego Lopes short notice, almost beat him, was giving him really tough time, just fought undefeated Lerone Murphy, who's fighting this weekend, gave him a really tough time. Right, Dan Ige is really, really difficult to get past. So if Sean Woodson gets past him, he gets in the rankings, he will definitely be a solid prospect. Don't get it twisted. So Dan Ige, I think he's going to have the power punches in this one, but I do think Sean Woodson's range, his distance management is going to be a huge factor. If he can properly manage the distance between Dan Ige and himself, it's going to be a masterclass by Sean Woodson. We know his striking. He is the sniper. His striking's really, really good. It is really good. It's really clean. Underrated at featherweight, right? I mean, he's 6'2". You know, we're going to have to see somebody that takes him down to really beat him. Dan Ige is not going to be the one to take him down. He did get a takedown on Lopes, but I don't see him shooting a double leg on Sean Woodson. I think he's going to want to strike, and I don't think it's going to go well for him. So I'm going to go Sean Woodson. I don't think Sean Woodson can finish Dan Ige, but I do think he's going to outland him, deal the more damage. Dan Ige has been taking a lot of damage recently, so I think Sean Woodson is going to win this one by decision. Yeah, I think it could be a decently close decision, but the judges will give it a unanimous decision to Sean Woodson. We move on to the main card. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. This is a solid fight. Nikita Krylov's been on a 3-fight win streak. He looks really good, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. It's been a long time since we've seen Krylov fight. Last time, I think he fought Ryan Spann. That was a long time ago. And Dominic Reyes has been on the come up. He's been back. He's been back-to-back knockouts for Dominic Reyes. Just knocked out Anthony Smith. Obviously, Smith is near the end of his career. But before that, he knocked out, what's his name? Holy, I forget his name. I am totally stumped on his name. But Dominic Reyes is on back-to-back knockout streak. That's what I gotta say, man. He was on a 4-fight losing streak, all by finish. He did lose to Ryan Spann, who Nikita Krylov beat, but that was a while ago. Dominic Reyes is back. He's taller. I think his striking is going to be better. It really depends if Krylov can get him down. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be back and forth. I don't see a finish in this fight, honestly. I do think this will go to the distance. I think it will go the distance, and I think the decision is going to be very close. But I'm going to lean Dominic Reyes. Early prediction, at least. I think Dominic Reyes is going to be the fresher fighter. I mean, even though he had that losing streak, don't get it twisted. He had that losing streak. Dominic Reyes is back. He is back. He's looking really good. His cardio is good. His striking is good. His damage is really good. Nikita Krylov, we haven't seen him in a couple of years. And he's fighting Dominic Reyes, who looks really fresh again, man. So I'm going to go Dominic Reyes by decision. Very close, but I'm going to lean on his side to get a really close decision against Nikita Krylov. We move on, though. Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I'm just going to go Yair Rodriguez, man. I'm sorry. I like Patricio Pitbull. I think he's good, but he's just come into the UFC too late. Yair Rodriguez is still dangerous. His kicks are nasty. Patricio Pitbull's knockout power is really good. Don't get it twisted, but I got to stop saying don't get it twisted, man. I don't know why I'm saying this today. But Patricio Pitbull's power is really good. It is really good. He just got a finish in 2024, March 2024, so I think it's been about a year. Yair Rodriguez is coming off back-to-back losses, but these are against really tough competition in the UFC, right? This is against Volkanovski when he was champ. This is champ Volkanovski, and Brian Ortega that was on still a bit of a streak, man. He just fought Volk. He lost to Rodriguez the first time by it was an injury, but then he came back, subbed Rodriguez. I don't see Patricio Pitbull getting a takedown on Rodriguez and really dealing damage or finding a submission. That's where Rodriguez has, issues, is on the ground. I don't see that happening. I think Yair is going to outpoint him and potentially find a finish. I'm going to go Rodriguez by head kick knockout. I think he's going to find a head kick knockout or a body kick knockout on Patricio Pitbull, hits him in the liver, maybe kicks him in the liver, damages him really bad, and then finishes him on the ground. I think Yair is going to get a finish here. We're going to move on, though. Bryce Mitchell, John Silva. This is the fight. This is the fight, boys. This is the fight I'm hyped for. This is my favorite fight on the card. No joke. No joke. Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva. Bryce Mitchell's coming off that win over Kron Gracie. Amazing knockout. Amazing knockout. No, I'm joking. It's Kron Gracie, but still good win for Bryce Mitchell. He obviously got knocked out by Josh Emmett before that, but Josh Emmett's power at 145 is disgusting. Disgusting. I don't think John Silva has Josh Emmett power, all right? This is going to be a really, really close fight. I'm not going to lie, but I think Bryce Mitchell is going to win, boys. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to be cheering for Bryce Mitchell, okay? I love John Silva. He used to be one of my favorite up-and-coming fighters, but he's been dissing Bryce Mitchell real bad. I know Bryce Mitchell said some stupid shit, but if you avoid all the stupid shit, he don't deserve all that hate, all right? He's still a decently nice guy, and I still think he's a really good fighter. Even if you just avoid all the conversation, everything, he is super underrated in this fight. We have yet to see Jean Silva's ground game. We've yet to see a takedown get shot on him. Bryce Mitchell, if he gets Jean Silva to the ground, he gets the back. We have not seen Silva in that position yet, and I'm really excited to see if Mitchell can get him down and can get to his back. He's a bigger guy. I think he's going to be able to shoot a double leg on him. Silva does have submissions in his bag, but I don't see him pulling a guillotine on Bryce Mitchell and pulling that one off. I'm going to go Bryce Mitchell by decision. A little bit of a smothering decision that kills the fighting nerd hype for Jean Silva. I think Bryce Mitchell can get it done by decision, man. I'm picking him to get the upset. We move on, though, to the co-main event. Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. This is a pretty solid co-main event. Michael Chandler's fought top of the top guys. He's always fought in the top 5. First time he's fighting outside the top 10, I think, in his entire career. First time fighting out of the top 10. He's fighting Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett's on the come up, okay? Paddy Pimblett's never lost a fight, but he has had some questionable decisions, to say the least. I am going to lean Paddy Pimblett to get this one done, but Michael Chandler's always live. He's got knockout power. He could find that shot on Paddy Pimblett, but he's just aging, no momentum. Just got beat down by Charles Oliveira for 5 rounds. I think Paddy Pimblett's not going to beat him down for 5 rounds, but I do think he will find a submission on Michael Chandler. I think he's going to take Chandler down. He's going to be smart about it. Paddy Pimblett, even though, he's not the most damaging guy, he does have a good IQ. I mean, that submission over Bobby Green was nasty. I know everybody finishes Bobby Green, but it was really, really disgusting. I think that should have been submission of the year. But Paddy Pimblett, he's got good IQ, and that's the difference. Michael Chandler's IQ is always up for question. You can't trust his IQ in any fight. So I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett, literally just to win by IQ. I think he's going to be smarter when it comes to the positions they're in, when it comes to the striking on the feet. He's not going to overshoot or overlook Chandler. I think he's going to play it very safe, find the openings, find the holes in Michael Chandler's game, and just adjust properly throughout the rounds. I trust Paddy Pimblett to adjust throughout the rounds. We haven't seen him in a 5-round yet, but I do think he will get this one done, either by submission or by decision. I think he's got the cardio to go for 5 rounds. We move on, though, to the main event, the fight that everybody's excited for, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. I'm really worried. I'm really, really worried for Alexander Volkanovski. And Diego Lopes, man, he's live. He is so live. Like I love Alexander Volkanovski, but Diego Lopes is so live in this fight. Like, I could see him getting it done in round 1 or round 2. I'm seeing a lot of people pick Volkanovski, early picks. A lot of people are picking Volk. I want to pick Volk. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. I love Volk. I'm going to be rooting for Volkanovski to win, but I'm going to be picking Diego Lopes to get it done. He is the underdog. I understand why he's the underdog. No 5-round experience. Alexander Volkanovski's been there. If he drags it into deep waters. If Alexander Volkanovski gets it to round 5, he's winning the fight. It doesn't matter. If he gets it past round 2 or 3, he wins this fight by cardio, by experience. He's been here, right? I think Diego Lopes will gas out if we're in round 3, round 4, round 5. He showed that he gassed out a little bit in that Dan Ige fight. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But what I'm more worried about is Alexander Volkanovski's chin and Diego Lopes' relentless pressure, the way he comes at you in round 1 and round 2, the way he tries to finish you. Brian Ortega is a really tough dude to finish, but Diego Lopes knocked him out with one shot and woke him up with the other one. All right. If you haven't seen that, that was a nasty combo. Right hook, left hook, woke him up with the left hook after sleeping him with the right hook. I mean, Ortega's hard to finish. Diego Lopes was probably the closest anybody's ever been to finishing him. And I think he finishes Alexander Volkanovski in round 2. I think Diego Lopes will just unleash a flurry, and up against the cage, I can just visualize it. I'm sorry to all you Volk fans. I'm a Volk fan, but I can just visualize Diego Lopes unleashing a flurry at Volk up against the cage, uppercuts, hooks, check hooks, uppercuts. He mixes in those uppercuts beautifully. He's big for this division as well. He's really, really big. Once he cuts that weight and then he puts all that weight back on, 5'11", look at the height advantage. 5'11 versus 5'6", a little bit of a reach advantage. He's just going to be bigger. I think he's just going to be more physically imposing, and he's just going to deal all that damage on Alexander Volkanovski, who's taken too much damage recently. Got knocked out by Islam and then got knocked out by Topuria. I know he took a long time off, but I think his chin has not recovered. I'm going Diego Lopes by round 2 TKO. I'm sorry to you Volk fans, man. I hope Volk wins. I hope he gets the belt back. I just don't see it happening. I think it's Diego Lopes era, man. That is the entire card, though. That's my entire quick picks, quick predictions. It was not quick. I'm not going to lie. That video was a lot longer. This video was a lot longer than I expected it to be, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop your comments down below what you guys think about this pay-per-view, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.